All right, guys, so paper out, right? First, last name up at the top. Your period, assignment number, date, all those good things. All right, so, yep, you can grab your book out. We don't have any notes today. Page 80 is where it starts. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. As soon as you get your paper all set up and your book's open, you're ready to go, I just want you to put your pencil down for a nice little 3 to 4 minute story. Okay, so the other day we talked about multiplication of integers. And if you remember the little corny story I talked about, and that was, remember the hula hoops and the marble story? Okay, and remember it was the whole point of it was to understand the setup or the concept of what multiplication looks like, especially to help us with our comprehension of word problems when it comes to multiplication. Okay, so if you remember right, the first thing that they tell us or they give us in a multiplication problem are the number of groups, right? And remember that was like the 3 hula hoops, okay? And then it tells us the size of each group. That could tell you how many are in there or how large, whatever it is it's talking about. So remember that was, in this case, 2 marbles in each, right? How the size of each group. And then remember, the very last part on a multiplication problem is they'll say, well, what's the total amount of marbles, right? Well, I don't know the best way to talk about division of integers. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it this way, but is to talk about it in terms of a multiplication problem. Okay? We know it's kind of an inverse or the opposite of multiplication, but let me show you what it looks like in a math problem. Okay? So remember, they give us the number of groups and they give us the size of each group, and then they ask for the total. Well, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you 2 different stories, okay? So for example, right, there were 3 groups, 2 in each, right, and you multiply them to get 6. Well, let me tell you a different story. Very similar, all right, but a little different. So see if you can spot the difference. Here we go. You come into class, you're having a group project, and you get in your groups, and they say, okay, guys, here's what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go over, please grab 6 marbles, okay, and go ahead and place them in 3 different hula hoops. And then they ask, how many marbles are in each hula hoop? Okay, here's what they did. They actually started off by giving you the total amount of marbles there were. Then they turn around and they tell you the groups. But what they're asking you is, what's the size of each group? Okay, that's a division problem. They're not asking for the total, they're giving the total and they're asking you for a different part of it. Or, here's another kind of story. Okay guys, go ahead and grab 6 marbles, okay? And what I'd like you to do is I would like you to please place them in groups of 2 marbles each. And they may say, how many hula hoops do you need? They're asking you how many groups you're going to make. So the whole point is multiplication and division word problems are very similar, okay? Except, right, they're asking for the total here with multiplication. With division, they're either going to they're giving you the total, it's given. They're asking you for either the size or they're asking you for the amount of groups, okay? So that's just the difference, all right? And you'll see some word problems on your homework and on the tests. Okay, and when you put multiplication and division all in one shot, in one big test, you need to be able to read it, understand which is which. So that's the kind of stuff you're looking for. Is the total given or are they asking you for the total? Okay, that's a big indicator on if it's multiplication or division. Okay, any questions, guys? All right, so let's get going with the computation part of this. Let's take a look at how to solve some of these problems out of your book. So let's go ahead and take a look. Page 80, problem number 6. Okay, number 6 Number 6 says 72 divided by negative 18. All right, here we go. Step 1 is you're going to just divide the numbers, meaning remember you're just dividing the absolute value of each number. Basically, you're dropping the sign. Okay, so 72 divided by 18. Now, if it's been a little while since you've done double-digit division, and there will be some larger ones on here. A lot of them are mental math, but if it's been a little while, right? It's just so many of us aren't big fans of this because there's a little guessing and checking involved. Now, you could divide. You could estimate and go 1 into 7, right? Now, and we can do that. The issue is it's more likely going to be bigger, too big, because of that number in the ones being an 8, right? So we can still do it if we wanted to. 56, 12, way too big, right? 18 times 6, 48, 10, 18 times 5, 49, all right, getting closer, 18 times 4, and again, some of these you will automatically know. 72, so it goes in 4 times, okay, 4 times 18 is 72, all right, so we get the idea. So step 1, we've done step 1. Okay, step 2. For the sake of this, all right, because this is kind of review, here's what step 2 is. Use the multiplication rules. So hopefully you guys used them enough to remember them on our last lesson. Use the multiplication rules. Remember, if they are the same, they're both negative or they're both positive, you're going to get a positive answer. But in this case, they're different. So of course, our answer is negative. All right. Questions on that? Okay. Okay. So here we go. Here's the one I want you guys to try out. Problem 20. 20. Go. Okay, anyone need more time on that? Okay. Okay, anyone still working on it? Okay, 30 seconds. Go ahead and turn to your neighbor and share. Go. All right, here we go. For right now, I'm just going to look for the answer instead of you guys walking us through just the answer. All right, seat 33. Positive 50? Yeah. Agree, disagree? Okay. Okay, well, let's check it out. So number 20 is 750. And instead of fraction form, they use the old-fashioned division sign. All right, so we go ahead and divide 15 into 750. So cover up the 0, right? First, go 15 into 75. Well, if I cover up the two 5s and estimate 1 into 7. So I'm going to try 15 times 7 first. 35. 7 plus 3 is 10. Too big. Remember, we're going into 75 here. 15 times 6, that's 30. 6 plus 3 is 9. Too big. 15 times 5. 25. 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Goes in 5 times. 75. Oops. 75. Subtract. And then, of course, yes, you have to, of course, when you bring down the digit, you have to divide into it. So it goes in 0 times. There's no remainder. It is 50. All right. And we look at this, and they're both positive, meaning that it's like a 4th or 5th grade problem, right? And so our answer, since they're the same, our answer is positive. So good job, guys. Okay. If anyone did not get that, are there any questions or any questions either way? Okay, I do have a little reminder to talk about repeating decimals, but I do not believe that on any of them that I've assigned today that you guys will come across any repeating decimals. So we'll worry about that next chapter. All right, so let's go ahead. There's actually only one more type of problem I want to talk about. Let's take a look at problem number 10. And it's problems that we've talked about before. So before, right, we were just finding the quotient. Okay, this time it says evaluate each expression if, and they tell us they're defining the variable, right, by saying s is equal to -2, and what was the other one? T is equal to 7. So on number 10, it gives us -10t divided by s. So, all right, here we go. Step 1 is plug your numbers in to parentheses. So in this case, or I should say, let's just put parentheses where letters are. Let's keep it simple for right now. Okay, and then step 2 kind of goes with step 1. Now we can plug our numbers in. So t is a +7 and the s is a -2. Now step 3 is to simplify. So I'm going to simplify the numerator and denominator separately. Well, the nice part is the denominator, you don't have to simplify anything. It's just an integer, -2. I'm taking it out of parentheses right now because that's the only thing that's down there. And the top part, of course, is -10 times 7, right? Well, absolute value of this is 10, and then times 7 is 70. But remember, they're both they're different, so our answer is negative. And then now don't forget, of course, that is division. All right, so we need to simplify it even further. The nice part is that they're both negative integers. Sometimes it might help some of us in case we do the calculation and then forget about it. Maybe you want to do the signs first. All right, so basically do step 2 before step 1. I'm okay with that. Okay, if you're afraid you're going to forget to put the sign on. So we have a negative divided by a negative is a positive. 70 divided by 2. And you can do long division if you want. A lot of us probably know that. All right, and it's positive 35. So plug numbers in, guys, to parentheses and then simplify. All right, questions on that? Okay. Go ahead and try out problem 27. Problem 27. Okay. I'll give you guys about a minute. I'll check in with you in about a minute. Go. Okay, anyone need more time? All right, give you a few more seconds. Those of you that are done with that, there's most of the problems on your homework you can do right now. So go ahead and continue working while the others finish, and we'll come back to this one in just a second. All right, checking in with you guys. How many of you are still in need of more time? Okay, 30 seconds. Go ahead and turn to your neighbor and share. Go.
I got 36.
All right, here we go. Problem 27 says evaluate each expression. So on problem 27, it gave you negative 6a divided by b. And it says a is equal to negative 24. B is equal to negative 4. All right, so here we go. Just to check it out, I just want the answer. All right, see 23. 23. Say that one more time. Negative 51. Agree, disagree. Negative 51. Okay. A couple people same answer, some others disagree. So let me go ahead and let's get maybe one or two more answers here. Seat 25. Seat 25.
I had negative 36.
Negative 36. Agree, disagree with that one. Okay. Agreements, some disagreements. Anyone want to share other answers that we have?
Negative 82.
82. Negative 82.
51.
Positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Positive 36.
Positive 36. Okay. Well, let's take a look here. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to solve this problem exactly like I've explained it. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead. Negative 6 parentheses over parentheses. I plug in my a, which is negative 24. I plug in my b, which is negative 4. Okay. Using parentheses, guys, will help some of you guys. That's why they're there. All right, here we go. Plugging in the correct number. Sometimes we see a negative already there, and we just kind of, our brain makes that negative be that negative, and pretty soon before you know it, it's putting in a positive 24. Okay, I'm not saying everyone did that, but that is a mistake sometimes 7th graders make, so be careful. All right, here we go. At this point, I'm going to, just like we did up here, right? It's a little bit larger, but I'm going to simplify the numerator, the top number. So use my scratch paper. By the way, I'm looking already. Negative and a negative, right? They're the same, so our numerator is going to be positive. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 24 and 6. So 24. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. So we have 144. I'm going to then go ahead, and I don't need to simplify anything. I'll just bring it over. And so right off the bat, I can see positive divided by a negative gives me a negative. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my division. 144 divided by 4. 4 goes not into 1, but into 14 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down the 4, and 4 goes into 24 exactly 6 times. So we end up with a negative 36. All All right, some rumblings out there, guys. Questions? Okay, there's three people. Usually when we do problems like this, there's three type of people, right? There's the person who did it all correct and got the right answer. There's the people who did something incorrectly, got the wrong answer, but once I start doing it, they're like, oh, yeah, okay, I messed up. But then you know what you did wrong, okay? And then there's the people that look at it and go, I have no idea what I did wrong, okay? If when we go over this, okay, most of you know this, but if you're one of those people that are like, wait, what? Okay, make sure that's when you raise your hand and we start talking about it. Because, you know, we go over this in class because you want to be confirmed that you're getting it right, or you want to know that you're getting it wrong, but you know what the mistake is so you can fix it, right?
Yes.
But the people that don't know what you did wrong, you can never fix it because you have no idea what you did wrong. So, you know, that's what should be going through your mind, not in just math class, right, but in any class. So, any questions, anything, any steps, anything I did that you have no idea why I did it? About this problem?
No.
Okay, about this problem. Okay, hold on to any other questions about other problems we'll talk about in a second, but here's what I do want to talk about really quickly, a reminder. You're going to have a problem that's asking about the mean. Now, it's been a little while since we've talked about statistics. We'll talk about it in 7th grade a little later on, but that is a review from 6th grade, all right? Just a little reminder, mean is, yeah, I mean, so many of us know it as, you know, the informal name of average, like a batting average or a bowling average or a, you know, any of those. Grade point average sometimes, okay? So here's what, just remember, if you have a number like, and of course your problem is going to be more challenging than this, but if you have something like 5, 6, and 7, remember to find the average of those three. You add them all up. 11 plus 7 is 18, and then you divide by how many numbers you had in the as part of your statistics, right? And your mean is 6. So just a quick little review on what mean is. They're going to give you some more challenging problems that relate to this, but you just need to know, of course, how to do it, okay? All right, so basic, guys, division finished.